going to throw this out there now. Hopefully you can think about this during the video, but basically we'll get around to the reasons why. But this is not a Beyblade game, and we won't be able to use Beyblade terminology. So what do you think we should be calling some of the components? Just answers in the comments below. And I apologize if this is a mix of pre-recorded and narrations, so the voice is going to go all over the place, and I'm going to try and cut out all the weird noises that I make when I swallow and sniff, and when I whistle when I say my S's. Sorry about that. But yeah, please try and bear with me. This is two important questions. When will the demo be available? So I hope to get an AI into the game by a couple of weeks from now. And I hope you guys to be having a go with that. We'll need obviously a reset option and play again. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that up and running within a couple of weeks. I can't make any promises. Things happen, obviously. I still have a day job. Similarly, you'll also need, I've published one game before. It used the spacebar, and that's all it was. It was a clone of the Chrome game. So I don't know how you controllers work, and if it just implements exactly the same. It should be exactly the same. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be, but you guys will also need to use a controller for it. Plug in some sort of controller to your PC, and it will only be available on PC. So as much as everybody wants this to be a Beyblade game, this is Metal Revolution. I don't own the rights to Beyblade. I don't have a license to call anything Beyblade. You know, it all belongs to TT and not myself. Probably Hasbro as well. I don't know. So if you were hoping for a Beyblade game, then this is not one. If you want to play Battletops with its own unique story and its own unique experience, then stick around. If you really wanted to play Beyblade, unfortunately, the best that they can offer you is this.
Don't really knock no one out of the stadium. Yeah. Why are we just going around? We don't want to go around. We need more special moves.
Yes, my favourite part of the anime is when they were just going round.
So boring. That wasn't any fun at all.
So what can we add to the game instead of just these obviously completely smooth round ones that you see now? Well, they're taking actually pretty hard inspiration from events in the anime. You can see these ones are all looking around. I'll show you the one that I actually used to model my current one to get the proportions right. That was a Rock Leone. Shout out to Eddie. He also thinks that they should be round. I'm kidding, of course, but he has amazing thumbnails for his videos. Like, his videos are amazing as well, but he has amazing thumbnails for his videos, and I'd love to be able to recreate that. But it's just not so easy with the 3D model. So as you can see, this one looks perfectly round, but you can also see that my FPS is through the roof because I have a sick computer. So I currently have 491 frames per second. So that little white circle that you saw going around, you see that drawn 491 times in a second, and so you can see every time that moves, you can see it go round nice and smooth. Now what I do is, what I try to do is emulate what everyone should have, is about 60 FPS, maybe even 30 FPS, and so I cap the frame rate with a script, and this is what it looks like. So this is at 60 frames per second, and as you can see it makes a hexagon. Now that's if we achieve 60 frames per second, but what happens if you don't achieve 60? What if you achieve 30 frames per second or 15? Well, it's very choppy at 15, but it's still playable. But do you really want a triangle following you? As you can see now, I'm faffing with the speed. This is 36 times around in a second. This is 360. It then becomes 3,600, which is 10 times around, and then it becomes 100 times around. And you think that'd make it smoother, but it turns into a triangle. So what you have to do is you have to know how fast, how many frames per second your computer is viewing this at, and then have it rotate by I don't know, 15 degrees to make it look like it's going round. It's just, here's the thing, I just literally don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning as we go, so this is, bear with me. And this is like the impasse we're at. It's, what's the point in adding high fidelity models with all the bells and whistles and all the things you want to see on them when you can't tell that they're rotating? So we kind of make subtle silhouettes and give them effects, and say they're rotating. So this game actually does the rotation quite well. They're not too terrible to look at here. For a Switch game, not bad. So maybe I'll figure it out and I'll stop complaining. We'll add better models, but the issue is like we're back to the statement we have. This is not Beyblade. What models do we put in? So basically, we can't have a Rock Leone. Obviously, that's an IP that belongs to TT. What they can't own is the fundamental elements, for example, earth, fire, water, wind. They're core concepts that have existed for thousands of years. You can't own them. Neither can you own concepts such as evil for evil Gemios or dark for dark balls, galaxy. But the thing is when we start putting those naming conventions in with a Battletop's metal ring, which we kind of want a metal ring. I mean, we all see the ones with sparks. We all want to play with sparks, right? It's cool. Then we're treading a very thin line there. So I guess I leave this open to you guys. What do you think we should call them? You'll see what I've got specifically named in a moment. In fact, I'll show you that now. So this is our model currently. As you can see, it's got a round top. It's got an enchantment. So these are the current standard names. We'll get rid of the enchantment for now. In fact, we won't be able to get rid of the enchantment. We'll just go edit the enchantment. Let's try it again. Right. Oh, look at that. Right, cool. Hopefully this looks slightly more like it's supposed to. Again, it's rough. But we'll just literally export this to the FBX, which is hopefully on NPC. Oh, look at this guy. But here's the thing, right? If we look at him specifically, and we go and hide. I can't hide that one. Hide all the other elements apart from this, and this is where we keep basically the mesh for what is actually having contact. As you can see, it's not actually that shape. It's this round shape. We fill in the gaps, so there's no quote-unquote contact points. This is a weird shape, and I quite like it. So obviously, if we undo that and we turn everything back on, we have a Rock Leone looking top. It's not got the wide ball bottom, but can't have everything. If you go to armor, you can turn off this convex thing, and you can't see that anymore. But trust me, like, it's there. But the issue with that is it will complain at us. If it doesn't complain, I will. Yes, it's complained. So the mesh collider can't. If it's kinematic, non-kinematic. So basically, if we're expecting physics to happen with it, it can't. It can't be basically a weird too weird of a shape, and so the game doesn't work off of. We could create individual hitboxes for all the quote-unquote contact points, but that would make the game, it's like RNG based. You know, when like one of the characters slides in, you see their contact point hit specifically on that. How would you control that? There's absolutely no way you're controlling that specifically. The easiest way to do this is to just say, the attack is the attack, and this is how that works. It basically calculates what we want. It tells it how fast we were going, and then also finds out how much quote-unquote attack power we have, and applies that to how far we're sending him away from us. Also how much we recoil. I will find a picture of that. So on collision, we basically find out which direction they are from us and tell them which way direction they're going to go. We figure out what direction we're going to go with a little bit of randomness. And then we send it to them, which they then figure out if they're defending or not. And we add our own recoil impulse. And we also set our damage to 0 because we've already told them how much damage we've done, and we don't want to accidentally send them another damage. And that's it, there's no contact points involved, it's just literally where we touched and then where we are to where they are, and then they disappear and we go backwards. The randomness is only there, so it looks a little more natural. It's not there to be, like, consequential. And this is where, the game I'm trying to create is skill-based rather than a game that's based on a setup and RNG. Once again, we're back to not having this. But until I figure out how to get the rotations working properly, we are stuck with this or circular ones. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this answers your questions. I hope you do stick around and we can play Metal Revolutions together. But yeah, I've got a lot of learning to do, and I hope you'll all be patient with me.